Hello viewers, this is Paladin of Odin, and this is some more Magic the Gathering Online. This is another episode of the Standard Commentary Series, and it looks like we've got Golgari Delirium versus Boros Aggro. Boros is in a really good position so far. Golgari doesn't have any board presence, and Boros has Kithian, Hanweir Militia Captain, and Hanweir Garrison, and attacking all out. Yikes, Golgari's already down to 6. But the only thing that I can imagine he can do on his next turn is probably play something like a Languish. Otherwise, he's pretty much dead. Because now that he's got Gideon, he's got a 4/4 that can attack. But that was one hell of an aggressive start from Boros. Gather the pack. Not gonna save you here. Vessel, Haunted Dead, Forest, and Den Protector. Yeah, that's not gonna help. Unfortunately, Gather the Pack is a sorcery. If he had been able to do that at the end of his turn, then it might make a difference. But as it stands, he is dead. And I have to say, that is a very impressive start from Boros. And also not a very good start for Golgari, considering we didn't see a single kill card from him. Not one. And even one could have turned the tide of this game on, turn 2 or 3 or 4. If he had been able to kill that Hanweir Garrison before it had gotten started, or killed Kithian back before he could get transformed. Just good start for Boros, bad start for Golgari equals Boros ripping his face off very, very fast. So, let's go to game 2. Hopefully we'll see a better game. Felt like I should mention White Weenie, which is basically the same as this Boros aggro deck, just with a lot less red, is currently still sitting in second place in popularity. 8% of the field is White Weenie, versus currently 37% is Bant, which is in first place. Now, Boros Aggro is almost the same deck. Almost. It just adds some more red cards. And, as we saw in the last game, Hanweir Garrison, very powerful card. The only problem with Hanweir Garrison, as with most of the cards in White Weenie, is they can't protect themselves. And in a standard that has the cards that it does right now, it's very hard to keep a very powerful creature like that alive when all it has to defend itself is 3 toughness. 3 toughness really isn't that hard to deal with anymore. But the great thing about it is, if it stays on the board, you can start cranking out those human tokens and okay, pop in the Sinister Concoction to kill off the Hanweir Militia Captain. Oh, that's not good news for Golgari. And he discarded a land, which he could have really used to activate that Sinister Concoction. And honestly, compared to Hanweir Militia Captain, I would much rather use a Sinister Concoction to kill off Hanweir Garrison. But he activates the Haunted Dead, which will get him Haunted Dead, a Spirit Token, and Prized Amalgam. Next end step. So he does have enough blockers here to kill Hanweir Garrison in combat. Another Haunted Dead. So he's playing completely defensive here because you never know what Boros aggro is going to have. Since they run more red, you're more liable to see the burn spells to kill off your creatures so that their creatures can attack through and deal combat damage to you. They also have options from, the normal White Weenie deck. Things like Griff's Boon would be really good here. Well, aside from the fact that he has flying blockers, but making this guy a 3/3 flyer that whenever he attacks puts 2 attacking 1/1 human tokens onto the field is just that little bit better than him being what he is now. Ooh, always watching. Okay, that'll make him a 3/4. Unfortunately, that's still small enough that Golgari can block and kill him in combat. It would mean that he'd lose Haunted Dead and both of his spirit tokens, but ultimately, Golgari would be in a pretty good position if he had attacked in there. So he chooses not to, holding back. All it's really going to take here is for Golgari to... Well, there's a Vessel of Nascency. And immediately pops it, revealing Foul Orchard Vessel, Grasp of Darkness, and Voldaran Pariah. Ooh, Pariah is a very powerful card against decks like this, but he dumps her and grabs the other Vessel, attacking in with the Spirit tokens since Boros can't block them. And now he has 2 2/2s and a 3/3 to block whatever Boros can throw his way. 4 mana, Pia and Kiran Nalar. Now he has flyers. I have to say, their board state is very similar. And the only problem with Voldaran Pariah was the fact that he didn't have the mana to cast it. Otherwise, that would have been the pick because, I'll sacrifice Prized Amalgam and, maybe Haunted Dead or the 2 Spirit tokens, and boom, now I have a 6/5 flyer, and you have to sacrifice 3 creatures. There's the other Vessel of Nascency, and that's the problem right now. Golgari is walking a very thin tightrope here, since he's very low on cards. Let's see, Den Protector, Grapple with the Past, Den Protector, and Westvale Abbey. Ooh, I would be tempted by the Westvale Abbey, except for the fact... Oh, he takes it. I was going to say, except for the fact that you need 5 land in addition to the Westvale Abbey, and he's only going to have 4. But, if you can flip Westvale Abbey to Ormondal, Ormondal is a very difficult thing for Boros aggro to deal with outside of things like maybe Stasis Snare or Declaration in Stone, which I'm sure he's running a couple of copies of Declaration in Stone at the very least. Probably not Stasis Snare, but that's probably in his sideboard. Ooh, another Hanweir Garrison. Oh, and Thalia's Lieutenant. Those are going to be some big creatures. 4/5 Hanweir Garrisons and a 4/4 Pia and Kiran Nalar. Yeah, I don't think he's going to attack in here. The biggest problem is even at 4/5, at the moment, because he would have only been attacking in with 1 garrison, he would have been able to easily block and kill it. Alright, there's the Westvale Abbey. Like I said, he needs 1 more mana to be able to flip to Ormondal, but if he does that, he will be out of creatures other than Ormondal. But Ormondal is a very powerful creature. 9/7 flying lifelink, indestructible haste. He's going to be swinging immediately and gaining 9 life. But honestly, against this deck right now, with the board state he's in, flipping Westvale Abbey would probably get you killed on the next combat phase, because double Hanweir Garrison, that's 4 more 1/1s, which would be 2/2s because of Always Watching. And on top of that, he could man up a Needle Spires. A second Thalia's Lieutenant. I don't know. I would be very tempted to attack in here. Honestly, Ooh. And enough mana to man up the Needle Spires. So, yeah, attack all in here. So, lots of counters for Thalia's Lieutenants. An 8/8 Vigilance, 5/5 Vigilance, 2/5/6 Vigilance, a 3/2 Double Strike Vigilance, and shouldn't these guys be 2/2s? Oh, non-token creatures. Excuse me. But still, that's 4 1/1s that most likely aren't going to be blocked. Ooh, major block on the Thalia's Lieutenant. So the Hanweir Garrisons live, and that is a lot of, I was going to say, a lot of damage. And again, we saw one creature kill card, and that was in his graveyard. Well, 2. Sorry, Sinister Concoction counts. But, one Sinister Concoction, 1 Grasp of Darkness, that's it. I'm very surprised by that. And we got through almost half of his deck. I mean, I would have expected to see at least 2 more. That's probably a fault of the deck building. But wow, Boros aggro can really kick some butt. It's just, you have to be in situations where, your opponents, can't kill your big, powerful creatures. But, that's just the way it works out sometimes. Sometimes they can't kill your creatures, and then you can just run right over them. And unfortunately for the Golgari deck, it looks like he really needs to put in a few more creature kill cards. 4 copies of Languish, probably. I don't know how many copies of Grasp of Darkness he's using. And as I've said in the past, I'm not a fan of Sinister Concoction, but I completely understand why they use it in Delirium and Emerge strategies. But that'll be the end of this video. That was Golgari Emerge, or not Emerge, Golgari Delirium, though Delirium and Emerge are basically the same deck now, versus Boros Aggro. And if you liked what you saw, hit that like and subscribe button for me, and I will see you in the next video.